EPI 3. The Fall. For 3 days, Adrian managed to convince himself he'd regained control. Sarah attended class. She participated. She was professional, polite, and kept her distance. Everything was exactly as it should be. Except at night, alone in his apartment, Adrian couldn't stop thinking about the way she'd looked at him when he told her what he wanted. The way her breath had caught. The way she'd said, "Then do it," like she was offering him salvation and damnation in the same breath. He drank more, slept less, and pretended he wasn't watching the door every class period, waiting for her to walk through it. Friday afternoon, his phone buzzed with an email. From S. Winters at ashford.edu. Subject: Assignment question. Professor Blackwood, I have a question about the midterm essay assignment. Since you've made it clear you don't want me in your office, I thought email might be more appropriate. Could you clarify what you mean by explore the destructive nature of forbidden desire in romantic literature? I want to make sure I understand exactly what you're looking for. Serafina Winters. Adrian stared at the email, recognizing the trap even as he walked right into it. From A. Blackwood at ashford.edu. Assignment question. Miss Winters. The assignment is self-explanatory. Romantic literature is full of protagonists who pursue relationships society forbids. Analyze how these pursuits lead to their downfall. Professor Blackwood. Her response came within minutes. From S. Winters at ashford.edu. Assignment question. But what if the downfall is worth it? What if some things are worth risking everything for? His hands tightened on his phone. From A. Blackwood at ashford.edu. Assignment question. Then you're a fool, Miss Winters. And I don't teach fools. From S. Winters at ashford.edu. Assignment question. You're lying again, Professor. You don't think I'm a fool. You think I'm dangerous. You're right. I am. Meet me tonight. Hartley Library, 4th floor archives. 9 p.m. Or spend the rest of the semester wondering what might have happened if you'd been brave enough to say yes. Adrian stared at the message for a full minute. Every rational part of his brain screamed at him to delete it. To report her for inappropriate conduct. To transfer her to another section and never think about her again. Instead, at 8:55 p.m., he found himself walking through the darkened library, taking the stairs to the 4th floor where the archives were kept, a section rarely used, poorly lit, and completely private. Sarah was waiting for him, leaning against the shelves, wearing jeans and a leather jacket that made her look older, dangerous, nothing like the student who sat in his classroom. You came, she said softly. This is a mistake. Probably. She pushed off from the shelves, moving toward him slowly. But you're here anyway. Sarah, don't. She stopped in front of him, close but not touching. Don't tell me all the reasons we can't do this. Don't tell me about rules and ethics and consequences. I know all of that. Her eyes met his, fierce and certain. I'm here anyway. The question is, are you? If we do this, Adrian said, his voice low and rough, there's no going back. Do you understand that? I understand. I'm not going to be gentle with you. I'm not going to be the nice guy who takes things slow and pretends this is casual. He stepped closer, crowding her back against the shelves. I've spent weeks wanting you. Thinking about you. If I touch you now, I won't be able to stop. Good. Her smile was pure confidence. I don't want you to stop. Last chance to walk away, Serafina. I'm not walking anywhere. She reached up, her fingers curling into his shirt. I'm exactly where I want to be. Something in Adrian broke. He kissed her like he was drowning and she was air, desperate, consuming, everything he'd been holding back for weeks unleashed in a single moment. His hand fisted in her hair, tilting her head back to deepen the kiss, and she made a sound low in her throat that nearly destroyed him. She tasted like possibility, like every dangerous choice he'd ever wanted to make. Her hands were everywhere, his chest, his shoulders, sliding into his hair and pulling him closer. She kissed him back with equal intensity, all that mischievous energy focused entirely on him, and it was intoxicating. Adrian broke the kiss just long enough to look at her, lips swollen, eyes dark with desire, breathing hard. You're sure? He asked one last time, giving her an out even though it would kill him if she took it. I've never been more sure of anything. She pulled him back down. Now stop talking and kiss me again. He did. His hand slid under her jacket, pushing it off her shoulders. His mouth traced a path down her throat while she gasped and arched into him. Every touch, every kiss was years of restraint finally breaking free. Not here, he growled against her neck, even as his hands explored every curve he'd been fantasizing about. Not like this. Not your first time with me. Then where? Her voice was breathless, needy. Adrian pulled back, his control hanging by the thinnest thread. My apartment. 20 minutes. If you're not there, I'll know you changed your mind. I won't change my mind. Sarah. He cupped her face, forcing her to look at him. Once we do this, everything changes. You understand that? I'm counting on it. She kissed him again, soft and sweet and full of promise. I'll be there. She left first, and Adrian waited 5 minutes before following, his heart pounding with anticipation and the knowledge that he was about to cross a line he could never uncross. Adrian's apartment was exactly what Sarah expected: minimalist, expensive, controlled. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, leather furniture, shelves lined with first editions. Everything in its place, nothing out of order. Except him. He opened the door and she saw immediately that his control was gone. His tie was loosened, top button undone, hair disheveled from where she'd run her fingers through it. He looked dangerous, undone, and absolutely devastating. Come in, he said, his voice rough. Before I change my mind. Sarah stepped inside, her heart racing. The door closed behind her with a final sounding click. For a moment, they just looked at each other. The reality of what was about to happen hung between them, heavy and electric. Drink, he offered, already moving toward the bar. I don't need a drink, Adrian. She shrugged off her jacket, let it fall to the floor. I need you. He poured himself a scotch anyway, drained it in one swallow. I want you to understand something. Once this happens, you're mine. Not just for tonight. Not just when it's convenient. He turned to face her, his eyes dark and intense. I don't share. I don't do casual. If you walk into my bedroom, you're agreeing to belong to me. Most women would have run. The possessiveness in his voice, the raw need, it should have scared her. Instead, it made heat pool low in her belly. Then take me to your bedroom, Professor, she said, her voice steady despite her racing pulse. And show me what belonging to you means. Adrian moved so fast she barely had time to breathe. One moment he was across the room, the next he had her pressed against the wall, his body hard against hers, his mouth claiming hers with bruising intensity. This wasn't like the kiss in the library. That had been desperate, exploratory. This was pure possession, demanding, consuming, claiming her as his. Sarah kissed him back just as fiercely, her nails digging into his shoulders, her body arching into his. Adrian, she breathed against his mouth. He lifted her easily, her legs wrapping around his waist as he carried her down the hallway to his bedroom. The room was dark, dominated by a massive bed with expensive sheets. He laid her down, then stood back, just looking at her. You're so beautiful, he said, his voice reverent and rough all at once. She reached for him, and he came to her, and the night blurred into sensation and connection, and everything they'd been fighting against finally allowed to exist. When they finally came together, it was everything: intense, overwhelming, perfect. And afterward, lying tangled in his sheets with the city lights twinkling outside, Sarah knew with absolute certainty that there was no going back. They'd crossed the line. And neither of them regretted it.